Hi, everybody. Bonnie Gillespie here, and today I want to talk about one of my favorite improv games that I don't know started out as one of my favorite improv games. It probably was torture for me at first, and then eventually I realized the beauty of the fluidity and the value not just in my craft but in my life. It's called New Choice. If you've ever done improv theater games, theater sports, any kind of workouts where you've got someone who's leading the group and throwing at you curveballs, it's all about working out the improvisational muscle. New Choice is a standard. And this is where you'll have started a long form, it doesn't even have to be long form, but generally you'll have started a long form improv, and you will be headed down one direction. You'll be taking the narrative down this road, and the leader will yell, New choice! And then you have to make a new choice with whatever the last thing was that you said. So, for example, if I were, and I'm improvising this as I go, I had not planned to do an example of it because I'm like, everybody knows what that is, but in case you don't. So, if I say, okay, I'm walking down the street and I'm picking up this lovely little flower, and then I hear new choice, and I'm picking up this sack of dog poop that someone has left on, and they could yell new choice again, and I have to turn it into something else. It's that very last thing that I spoke has to get turned into a new choice each time. And I don't have to redo or unweave all the stuff that came before it, but that very last thing that I said has to go to a new choice when that is what is yelled out. Here's where this is incredibly powerful for me ongoing, having left acting behind long ago. New choice is something I use on the regular. I will find myself in a loop in my head and going down a road that's not serving me, and I'll just say, new choice. And I have to pick a new thought. And that new thought can be either that very last thing that I thought changed somewhat, or I have to go in an entirely new direction, meaning I can't even go down this line of thought anymore. So I actually do take this a lot farther than you're expected to in the game New Choice in improv, because sometimes the new choice needs to be, I'm not thinking about this thing that's stressing me out anymore. And I have found that New Choice is incredibly empowering because really, if you think about it, everything is a choice. Every feeling that we have, every attachment that we have, every decision that we've made about the importance of something in our lives, these are all choices that we've made. And we either continue to choose them or we choose something different. And that's how we rewrite our lives. That's how we change who we are. It's how we decide if the things that have happened to us in life color who we are and flavor who we are or define who we are. And I like to believe that there's a lot of good and bad in life that has happened to everyone. And everything that's happened in my life has maybe sprinkled a little bit of seasoning in who I am, but it doesn't decide the whole of who I am. I decide that, and I get to create that every day. I'm a creative. I'm building this as I go. And that power feels really fantastic. This is an incredibly useful tool when you are frustrated about something, when you're feeling like you need to have a fight with someone, when you're in a reaction based space rather than an aligned or intention having been set ahead of time space. That whole like starting your day on social media or answering an email and feeling like you have to react to something. New Choice works beautifully with all of this. And so what I'm going to ask you to do is start looking for places that you can use. Hopefully, if you've done some improvisational work in your life, a tactic that is not new to you, just use it in a different area. New choice. Oh, my agent sucks. New choice. Either my agent is doing the best that she can, or my agent is not a good fit for me, and I am now going to spend an hour doing research on my targets so that I can come up with a better fit. Or I'm not going to think about my agent right now. You decide how big the new choice needs to be. For me at first, I would go new choice to something that was equally stressful. And I'm like, well, that's not helpful. So give yourself a lot of room to get good at this and build the muscle. But just try it on yourself and actually use the words new choice, new choice, new choice. And if you're not happy with the choice you made immediately, just like the example with the flour and then the bag of dog poop, okay, new choice again. Keep making. I remember the most torture-filled version of this that ever happened. I was training with Wayne Brady as the coach in theater sports, which has been rebranded as Impro Theater now. But at the time in LA, it was called LA Theater Sports. And this was in the late '90s. And Wayne had come in to teach our class, and I was put through new choice, new choice, new choice, new choice, new. I mean, I want to say like 8 times, 9 times on a single line. That and then that became the comedy, was that I was being tortured with this. I have to keep going to my brain and finding something else to choose. And ultimately it was hilarious, and that was the goal. But it was also incredibly freeing, because it taught me that we're not stuck with a finite number of choices, and certainly not only one. We have infinite choices. We absolutely get to pick from a huge buffet of offerings with every thought we think and everything we focus on. So with that, what are you going to choose next? Stay ninja. Mwah.